Hello, it's Dr. Ishikawa again, and I am going to show you how to measure turbidity today. So we collected some samples at Puda Creek. So here's our Puda Creek sample, and we are going to test it for turbidity. So turbidity gives you an idea of how cloudy the water is, or how much stuff is suspended in it. And so I was thinking about it that I've waited actually a week or 2 weeks now for in between, and so if it was just mineral particles that were suspended in it, it wouldn't matter that I waited on it, but it might have grown algae in the meantime. So if you have some algae can contribute to the suspended particles, so it's generally a good idea to do it out in the field right when you take it if you have a field turbidimeter like we have. So this is our turbidimeter. It's a little hot kit one. And first we're going to take a 10 NTU standard. I don't know if you can see the 10 NTU. And the reason I'm wearing gloves is not to protect my hands from the creek water. It's not gonna hurt my hands. But the reason I'm wearing gloves is to protect the vial. And I don't even like to really touch it too much with my hands. I like to try and keep it clean and just touch the cap. So I'm going to first wipe it off a little bit, and then I'm going to put some oil on. So I give it a little oil, and what the oil does is it fills in any micro cracks that are in there. So just 3 drops of the oil, and then hopefully I will not. And then you take your little cloth that comes with the kit, and you put that oil all around your vial. Okay. All right. Then you look for the vial. There's a little arrow, and you line that arrow up with the arrow on your meter. Am I in line? Come in line. Okay. And now I'm going to close it, and I'm going to verify the calibration. So I press verify cal, and it says insert verification standard, close it, and push read. So I will push read. Now, we only do that verify cal step when we're verifying the calibration solution. And it should read somewhere in between 9 and 11 NTUs, which are National Turbidity Units. So it'll read somewhere in between 9 and 11, and if it's between those, then it's within 10%, and that'll be okay, because that's as good as this machine can get, is like 10% accuracy. So it's nice if we're even closer, but yeah, we're at 9.78. So it says calibration verification passed, and that means we can go on with making our sample. So now we're ready to make a sample. So I'm going to call up my assistant Eli, ready to make the sample. Thank you, Eli. And I'm going to have Eli do an important job, which is to gently invert just like that, do that 10 times, and try to not make too many bubbles. You don't want to make too many bubbles. And while he's doing that, I'm going to put a little oil on here like I did for the last one. And I gave it a little cleaning before dropping my oil. I gave it a little cleaning before to make sure that there weren't any fingerprints on it. It looked like there were some calcium deposits, I think, from the water that I washed it in, and maybe some fingerprints or something. But you want it to look nice and clean, because anything on the side is going to possibly cause bad readings. Okay. All right. So Eli, oh wait, so I forgot to say, so he shook it, or he inverted it. Yeah. Give it a few more, because if you invert it, you have to invert it like right before you're ready to put it in. Right, okay. I was too slow for you. Okay. And the reason is that if you don't do that, then the stuff that's suspended, the suspended solids, can settle. All right, let's go for it.
You open it?
Yeah, let's do it. So pretty quickly, so that it doesn't all settle.
Yeah.
Whoa, we really felt that one. That's the one you did. Here, let's do it. Water the plants. Okay. All right. So I've got it, and I'm going to dry it off. little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to invert it and try not to get introduced too many bubbles. So I'm just slowly inverting it and letting the suspended solids get suspended. And when I have done it 10 times, I lost count. Pretend I did it 10. I'm going to stick it back in here and I'm going to press, oh, shoot. I forgot to press done on this last one, so I'm gonna put this back in just in case it needs the verification standard in there when I press done. Okay. All right, so now we're ready to read. Stick this in here and we'll press read this time. So not verify cal, we're just gonna press read because we already calibrated it. Okay, and so it'll go stabilizing and it says 1.03. So 1.03 would be what we read for our turbidity. It was nice and clear water up there. Should we try one more?
Yeah.
So we would usually do this a couple times. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Oops. So I don't need to oil it again. Probably good with the oil, but I do need to do the inverting. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I do have a couple air bubbles, but they're right up near the top, so I don't think they should be a problem. But that one might be. Okay. I'm gonna stick it in there and press read again. Let's see what we get. 1.87. Well, that is not within the amount of error I would want. So we might have to cut this. No, I'm just kidding. So I would do it again. Oh. So let's do the gentle inversion 10 times. Okay.
It's probably a lot more, but
Yeah, that's good. We won't get any bubbles in it this time. Okay. 3, 4, 10. I'm just kidding. It's a little tedious. Okay. Oh, I need to do this. All right. Turn it back here again. Okay. .85. So I probably would do one more if I were doing this for real, just to make sure. That it could have been that first one was a little bit off for some reason, and that these are getting closer. So that's pretty much all there is to it. And yeah, this is actually, though, this is pretty low turbidity, so this means that it was fairly clear water. Yeah, so 1.85 is very low, especially for Poudre Creek. All right, that's really it.